strategic civil society ally of the original habitat of FCT, the Resource Center for Human Rights and Civic Education strongly believe that beyond the presentations made at the public hearings, there are other steps which we have to be taken to ensure the issue of the FCT original habitat does not fade in the minds and memories of those in position to influence decisions. However, it is clear that if we do not take proper stock of where we are coming from, there may be bigger challenges in arriving at our desired destination. It is with this spirit that we have decided to come together to collectively look at what worked well and what did not work well, with specific reference to the participation of FCT original inhabitant groups in the constitution review process. Our reflection will then be a basis for future planning to realize the objective as we all desire, which is justice and the freedom of FCT original inhabitants from marginalization, oppression, and deprivation. The original inhabitants have done their part by pointing out the key issues in the 1999 Constitution, which continue to assail their quest for political emancipation. Cries calls on the Nigerian state not to undermine or frustrate its demands. We call on government to show for once that it has the capacity to listen to the plight of the state of the people and do something about it. Specifically, the anomaly of the statelessness of the original inhabitants of the FCT ought to be addressed immediately. Cries unequivocally makes the point that amongst all the agitations for state creation all through the period of the constitutional review, the case of the FCT remains the most compelling and justifiable. To redress the injustice wherein millions of FCT original inhabitants have been rendered stateless in their own ancestral homelands, the National Assembly urgently needs to tweak Section 299 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which states that the provisions of this Constitution shall apply to the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, as if it were one of the states of the Federation. Cries calls for the removal of the if, which has rendered the state status for the original inhabitants of the FCT inchoate. We affirm that Nigeria can no longer be seen to be trampling on the political, civil, and cultural rights of FCT original inhabitants. Cries calls on the rest of Nigeria to actively lend their voices to the cause of the original inhabitants whose ancestral land plays host to the capital city of Nigeria. Cries further calls on all Nigerians to stand in solidarity with the original inhabitants by condemning their maltreatment and marginalization. To do this is the duty of all lovers of justice, equity, and fairness, and it is service to God and humanity. Thank you very much.
What we want from the federal government is that Abuja should be a state, so that instead of having 36 states, that section 299 should be amended and said Nigeria has 37 states. That is what we want. Once we have a state, we won't ask anybody to give us more senatorial seats. We won't ask anybody to give us state assemblies, because all these are affiliated to a state. Once we have a state, all these things will come to us automatically. There is a misuse of wealth, even by the government, because ministerial position, a minister is designed to head a ministry, not a state. That is why you have never had Minister of Kanu, Minister of this. So we have Ministry of Federal Capital Territory. It's a ministry that has been created to handle the issue of Abuja. So the minister we have is Minister of Ministry of Federal Capital Territory, not Minister of FCT. And usually some of these big ministries, because of the schedules that are expected of the minister, you have Minister of State to handle some aspect of the functions that are expected of that ministry. We have that in finance. We have minister and we have minister of state. So, and usually from the constitution, you cannot be a minister if you don't have a state. So the challenge we are having, we don't have a ministerial nominee. That is why we don't have a representation in the Federal Executive Council. You must not be from Niger Delta before you can head the Ministry of Niger Delta. But sometimes they will look at it that he who lives in the house nowhere is linking. They will now appoint somebody from within that area that can better handle the challenges there. So the challenge we have is that we are not a state, so we don't have a nominee for ministerial position. If you have a nominee from ministerial position, if we are lucky, he can be given the Minister of Federal Capital Territory to handle.